Now, one of the other nice things, of course, that all of these different network frameworks, programming frameworks do, like WCF and ASP.NET, NVC, they map incoming network messages into .NET types. That way, we don't have to deal with low-level, streams of data, streams of XML, or streams of JSON, or streams of form encoded data. This is part of what the underlying framework does for us. So the Web API will, just by you adding type definitions to your parameters, figure out how to take those parameters and turn them into .NET types. The parameters can come from the body of the HTTP message, from the header, or the query string. In many ways, it's very similar to the NVC model binding, if you're familiar with that. And in fact, some of the framework will use the same rules as ASP.NET NVC. But the Web API takes things a little bit further. One of the things that the Web API does in terms of the serialization is, instead of just using regular model binders, they will also use something called a media type formatter. And media type formatters are mapped to content types. So this allows you to be able to, let's say, accept a post of incoming data, let's say in both JSON and XML. And what the framework will do, it will look at the content type of the post, it'll look at that header and say, oh, well, this is application/XML. Let's find the media type formatter that deals with application.xml. It will read in the body, and it will then turn it into the appropriate .NET object based upon your definition. If a post comes in, milliseconds later, that is JSON, application/JSON, well, then it will find the media type formatter for that. So media type formatters are both for input and output. I just described input, but the same settings happen for output, are the objects that take care of turning incoming messages into .NET objects and turning .NET objects into outgoing messages based upon media types. So again, very HTTP friendly. It's one of the underlying sort of cool features of HTTP is its ability to be able to have different content types. We can also do additional validation that goes along with that. And again, if you want to move down the stack and deal with things at a lower level, you can use the HTTP request message and the HTTP response message. These two classes can allow you to go down to that lower level and be able to deal with the message directly, although you still can do formatting and serialization if you use these objects. Typically, you use them if you want to have more control over additional headers and things like that. We'll go into that again, like many of these other features, into more detail later in this course.